Hello, everybody. Doing my tech check quickly before we get started for Teacher Thursday. You might have noticed by the description as well, I'm also giving this a day 27. Oh, maybe I need to do it day 28 because I'm going live 2 times in one day, so I thought I might make the most of that. All right, cool. Wonderful. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Teacher Thursday. This evening, I really wanted to pick up where I left off this morning when I jumped on and I was talking about um, some real breakthroughs that I experienced with Magnify Your Cosmic Vision. And so I want to tell you a little bit more about that and what the and how that's come about. So every single day we is a dedicated daily practice, and there are a each day there is a theme or an intention that we set for that day, and it's formulated a structure that we are showing up to these daily practices. So for example, Monday we set an intention. Tuesday we meet our fear. Wednesday we expand. Thursday we enter into relaxation. Friday is all about having fun. Fun Friday, Surrender Saturday, and Reflection Sunday. So today's practice was Relaxation Thursday. And what Relaxation Thursday is about is really embodying the truth that we are energy first, physical second. It's been a big one for me, and it's coming up, and I'll get more into this in just a moment, where I have, the from my cranial intelligence, I understand the new paradigm that I am passionate about leading with is that we are energy first, physical second. And that defies everything that I have been raised to live by. I have been raised to work really hard, and if I'm not going to work hard, then I will never get to the destination. I will never have the successful business. I'll never have the financial freedom and all of the dreams. And so when we privilege the paradigm that we are energy first, physical second, then the way that we embody that is by not going so heavy with the physical activity, with the physical busy, doing, ticking off the task list, and all of those ways that we get caught up in the old paradigm that we must be busy, we must be straining ourselves, must be working physically hard for us to be able to get results. And it is a really challenging one. It is challenging for the old fears that say that can't possibly be true. And so having that woven into this structure in the way that we show up to our daily practices, it's been really helpful um, for me to at least practice the muscle every single week, every single Thursday, privileging relaxation. In today's practice, we were guided to relax in water, and that was throughout the meditation. It was with our energy, but I was lucky enough to be able to actually be in the bath while I did this meditation, which was really beautiful to have the visceral sensations while being in the bath and also going on that journey in meditation. And we were guided to um, really just become aware of where it was that our imagination had taken us to inside of this practice, inside of this relaxation meditation. And my experience was really cosmic. It was incredible. My imagination, after having worked it every single day for the last 18 months now, coming up to almost 2 years, has been has allowed my capacity to go all over the place with with great ease. And so inside of this meditation, I found myself up in the cosmos itself. And I was met there with thousands of dragons, and it's interesting because in my reflection, I'm noticing a pattern when dragons show up from within my imagination, and they always really they come when there is this massive collective um, uniting and up leveling. And I don't know if you've been feeling that lately, but if you've been super tired lately and needing to sleep and rest and just um, come in, that is something that I am seeing throughout my field, and is also how like the last couple of days I've been taking 3 4 hour naps, and it's just like I'll close my eyes and then I wake up and I'm like, what universe am I in? Like it's been really disorientating when I've been going to sleep. But so the dragons, they come at similar periods like this, and the guidance that they had was also profound. And of course, this is independent and individual for me. But if anything of this is resonating for you, please trust that we are absolutely all united. We are one consciousness. So whatever applies and resonates, then this is meant for you too. So the first dragon that I saw, they were cycling around me in their movement, and they came up and they introduced themselves to me and they said, I am your past self. Notice how I move in cycles around you. And then I was met with the second dragon, who introduced themselves as my present self. And they said, notice how I am absolute stillness around you. And so they then showed themselves as being my bath, that they were holding me as if they were the bath itself, and I was immersed in the water inside of them. And the feeling and sensation that I got from them was absolute stillness, peace, and calm. The third dragon that came up to me was introduced themselves to me as my future self. And they said, notice how I embody the cosmos. And so they presented themselves in this really mystical, beautiful way where like all I could really see was their glowing outline, because their whole entire body was like the galaxy itself. And so as they moved and swirled around, it was the patterns, or the galaxy on them was moving as if they were camouflaged, like much like a chameleon, which was just incredible. And then I was then guided to observe the thousands of dragons that were moving and flying and dancing around the cosmos. And I just knew, I had the clear knowing that they represented each lifetime of myself that was happening concurrently inside of the multidimensional reality that we all exist in. And inside of the meditation, we are then guided to ask questions. So I asked my present self dragon if we could go and visit one of these um, multidimensional selves. And so he transported me in my flying cosmic dragon bath into another lifetime. And I was met with another woman who was representative of myself, and she was also relaxing in water, and I was sort of hovering on top of her, eye to eye. Where do we go? Like that. Yes, there we go. Eye to eye. And when our eyes met each other, I asked if she could teach me. And what she showed me was a vision that it's like her eyes became like a movie, the cinema screen where it like projects out, and all of these really amazing things were happening. I think that all I distinctly remember was this little bunny rabbit skitting around and around this beautiful. I was taken to a scene in nature where she was bathing inside of or relaxating, floating in some water in a creek. What that really um, showed me, and when I came out of that practice, because it was really deep, and I felt so nourished by privileging that space, by privileging this practice, that I was able to just be inside of that incredible experience. What that really highlights is the power of our imagination. What the self inside of this alternate reality or dimension revealed is that it is through our imagination that we are projecting our reality. We are projecting our vision into our reality. Now, this is something that is not unfamiliar for me, and it's not unfamiliar for any of you who have been plugging along to my Teacher Thursdays or have come along to my webinar about this previously. What it was, though, was an embodiment of the truth, and an embodiment of how my imagination was projecting another being's imagination to teach this imagination. It was just really rich. Now, again, this was very much the medicine that I needed at that moment, and a really enjoyable and pleasurable way to relax into that truth. But what I'm really wanting to transfer to you here, what I'm really wanting to teach you here, is that this is exactly what is happening for you right now, whether you are privileging this as the way things are or not. The way, your imagination is that feedback that is going, whether you are conscious of it or not. That is the little subtle whispers of self-doubt or judgment or frustration, or not many of us really pay attention to what is being projected by our imagination or our thoughts or the feeling state that we have, that we are holding at the time. And this is something I have been noticing for myself, especially in the last couple of days as I prepare for a detox this weekend or for next week. Really getting to know and really paying attention to that inner dialogue. And especially the last couple of days where I have been feeling really tired and just wanting to hibernate. The thoughts, especially around stopping and not doing anything, what's been coming up with that has been, I'm grateful that I have been allowed myself and set the intention that I will attune to that and that I will pay attention, because they are very judgmental thoughts. They are very critical whispers saying that, I shouldn't be stopping. If I stop, if I slow down, I'm lazy, I'm worthless. All of these really critical ideas about myself that are happening without me being conscious of it. And this is how most of us, if not all, are functioning. It's by the unconscious thoughts that we aren't being intentional about paying attention to, that are informing our reality, informing what shows up. So I think it's really critical that we begin to become aware and we start to understand. And I invite you to play with this. I invite you to experiment and explore with this just for one day or even just for an hour. Set an intention that you will hear and you will notice the background and the autonomous feedback that is playing from inside of you. And notice, is that a feedback of information, of data that you want to be feeding your experience, that you want to be feeding your reality? And become super aware of that. And as you become aware of it, the task then is not to then judge those thoughts or then judge that self who, first took on those ideas about yourself, but to then become accepting and acknowledging, because that is how we can take ourselves from judgment to freedom. So as always, the way that I like to teach is to give you a experience as well, to give you practical insight. So it's not good enough for you to simply hear this information, especially if you're hearing it for the first time. It can be overwhelming if you aren't familiar with the language that I'm using and all of that sort of thing. So when we apply a practice to what it is that we are receiving, what information and data we are receiving, then we can have those stronger aha moments because we're moving out of receiving from the cranial mind, from that high beta brainwave state, and we're receiving from the heart, which is where our subconscious, our programming, the soft whispers are actually coming from. So, what we're going to do in just a moment, and this is if you're joining me live or catching the replay, please trust that time is but an illusion and this timing is absolutely divine and perfect for you now. But we are going to privilege our energy first and lead from that paradigm, and we are going to do the work inside of our energetic field instead of the physical field. And what we're going to do is we are going to become aware of the soft whispers that have been perhaps playing out for you the last day or the last couple of days. How we are going to do that is by dropping out of our busy high beta brainwave state, which is where we function. Our autonomous functioning happens from that beta brainwave state where we are constantly having to do, to think, to feel, to tick off that list. That is where a lot of our physical first paradigm is trapped inside of the busy analytical mind. And we are going to drop into our heart. Our heart, as I have said time and time again here, is the gateway into our subconscious. It is the gateway into the world within the world, as I have often called it as well. It is the gateway to our imagination, which again is where we are informing our experience. So, to do that, we must allow our autonomous nervous system to know that it is safe. And we do that by priming the space and the conditions that we do this practice, ideally somewhere where you are in private, where it is quiet, where you can sit comfortably. Seated with your spine straight is ideal. We, while lying down meditations, there is a time and place for that. It is a lot easier to fall asleep, and therefore you go beyond theta into delta, which is more about physical, like full restoration, rather than opening and being inside of that the subconscious, which is where theta is primed. The theta brainwave state is primed for us to do shifts inside of the subtle anatomy. So we allow our nervous system to know that we are safe, and we support that through breath. Now, when we bring consciousness to our breath, what that is ultimately doing is bringing us into a state of mindfulness. And in that state, we are able to become aware of everything inside of our local proximity. Primarily, we are able to ascertain that we are in fact safe. There isn't a tiger about to pounce. There isn't, I'm not, all of these physiological needs needing to be met. They are actually have actually been met, and I am safe to be. And then we use our passionate, focused intention to enter into the space of our heart, the intelligence of our heart, and then open to what is available to us inside of the quantum field, or the one mind, also known as our imagination. Lots of beautiful interconnections in what it is that I have to teach tonight. So if you are joining me live, or if you are catching the replay and it is safe for you to do so, I invite you now to close down your eyes and begin to soften your breath, bringing consciousness to the inhale, noticing when in its natural state it transitions to your exhale. And with every breath in and out, feel your whole body softening into the surface of which you sit. fixing your attention and awareness on your breath, noticing the tone and pitch as you draw in through the nose and as you release out through the mouth. Feeling your whole systems softening, letting go of all that has brought you to this point in your day with ease and grace. Bring 2 fingers or the palm of your hand to the center of your chest. With your eyes closed and your breath deepened, we signify to the nervous system that you are safe to be here. And this physical touch at your heart informs the cranial mind that we are choosing to divert to the heart's intelligence. And notice if you can feel any shift in your physical sensations by making this choice in this moment now. Breathing into this space, in through the front of your heart, and letting it go out through the back of your heart. You may see, hear, feel, or know that your breath and consciousness is circling in and out of heart to create a vortex around you. Again, paying attention to how this feels, any physical sensations, as you allow yourself to bring yourself into the here and now by the conscious awareness of your breath. I invite you to see this vortex expanding with every breath in and out until it fills the entire room in which you sit. Again, noticing even the most subtle of shifts and changes just by holding your awareness on your breath. See this vortex of your consciousness expand to fill your entire home or building, the entire street, road, suburb, state or region, and then your entire country. Notice again any shifts or physical changes, even the most subtle, by holding your conscious awareness on your breath. And on your next inhale and exhale, see this vortex of your conscious breath expanding now to encircle the entire globe. Bring awareness to any minor or major adjustments present for you now as you enter into this divine state of expansion and relaxation. I invite you now to ask silently or out loud for all of the soft whispers of your autonomous system to be made conscious now. Allow this to present themselves to you with ease and grace. You may see it as a flashback of your day or the last 48 hours. You may see yourself as an external observer watching you go about your day. And in doing so, you may begin to hear the thoughts that were playing that perhaps were not known at the time. You may just remember the whispers that you were choosing to ignore, as if you could kind of hear them, but you were not willing to listen to them. Just noticing whatever is there, whatever is presenting itself, judging yourself, others, the world, doubting yourself, others, the world, criticizing yourself, others, or the world. Whatever is there, whatever soft whispers inside of your imagination that have been unconscious to you in the last 48 hours or so. And in doing this practice, notice what is coming up now even. What thoughts of judgment, criticism and doubt are presenting themselves now, even in just allowing yourself to do this practice. They will be there. That is how the greater system works. And this is how we reprogram that greater system, by allowing ourselves to go there and being willing to listen, to see, to feel, to know. And once you have privileged these unconscious thoughts, we are going to go and transmute them now with the true power of our imagination. Notice before you is a doorway. Notice the size, the color, and the shape of the door. And as you approach it, I invite you to gently knock on the door, and seeing it open before you with ease and grace. And you step through it, finding yourself in the vast, expansive cosmos. Galaxies surround you. Shooting stars flashing before you. Notice how weightless and empty and free it feels to be inside of this space. Let yourself be here in this ever-present now that is the cosmos. And I want you to notice that you have a small bag around your waist, and inside of that are small stones and dust. And these are all of those thoughts that you just identified. And in your own time, when you are ready, I invite you to take each of those thoughts of criticism, of judgment, of doubt, and scatter them. Throw them into the cosmos. And as you do so, notice how these stones and dust turn into vibrant, crystalline stars, sparkling, adding more magnificent, spectacular energy into this space. One by one, or by the handful, empty out every single one of these thoughts that had been feeding your being an experience without you even being aware of it. And notice how it feels every single time you scatter these thoughts into the cosmos as vibrant, shining stars for us to observe here inside of this superficial world on Earth. And I invite you now, being cleared and emptied and having contributed to this magnificent moment in time where you have been set free inside of your true nature, which is the cosmos itself. I'm going to allow you just a moment to sit in silence and stay present to what is wanting to be gifted in return to you from this space. Perhaps you will see dragons and experience dragons here, or perhaps beings of another sort. Stay open and present to what it is that your vivid, expansive, and powerful imagination is gifting to you in this moment. Know that this space is available to you at all times. In a blink of an eye, if you are willing to allow that to be true for you. This is the space that we consciously inform our experience inside of the world. This is how we live and lead by the paradigm that we are energy first. Everything that happens in our physical reality has been informed by this energetic imprint, and you have the power to be the informer of informers. Taking in a deep breath now, breathing in the cosmos, breathing out the cosmos. Notice before you is another doorway, and as you approach it, you step through it, finding yourself sitting back in your seat or chair or bed, wherever it is that you are sitting. Bring some gentle movement back to your body, and when you are ready, blink open your eyes. I really love the paradigm that we are energy first, physical second. And I really love um, that this is how we can shift the way we see the world, the way that we see ourselves. It's something that I will be doing, um, ramping up. I will be doubling down on this type of practice because I am, as much as I feel ready for this detox, I'm also terrified. The fear of failure, the fear of doing nothing, the fear of being lazy, the fear of being human, they are all coming up and surfacing for me at the moment, even in preparation, and I haven't even fully started yet as far as the intake and output goes. Um, but the purge has absolutely begun, and this is the type of support that is really going to be the medicine for me in doing this detox. I invite you to jump in on that too, especially as we are in a period of time, one where it's crazy silly because it is Christmas. I love the Christmas. I'm super excited for Christmas. But also because it's a time where, you know, some people will have time off, some people won't, and it's just, yeah, I think it's a really beautiful opportunity for us to see the end of 2020 out, um, with this paradigm in the forefront, and see into 2021 even more so with this paradigm as an embodied paradigm. So thank you to everybody who has joined me live or will catch the replay. I just would love to ask as well, because there is something weird going on with Facebook algorithms. If you do jump in, either if you've joined me live or if you are going to be catching the replay, please just leave a comment, hashtag replay, because that will boost the algorithms. They have just plummeted. I thought it was just me. I'm like, man, am I not doing my vibration and not good enough? But I have been seeing a lot of the women who I follow who have been experiencing the same. So I think it's just social media in the way that it functions. So yeah, that would be extremely helpful for me. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. So much love to you.